All right, hello everyone. It's Nancy Rebecca, and we are just about ready to get started for day 2 of my masterclass offering. I am, let's just pretend this morning that we have this large auditorium and that you're all excited and your spirit is excited. You've got your paper and your pen, and you're just everything. The whole hall is just a buzz with the excitement about learning about intuition, as well as using your intuitive senses, your energy field, to learn how to resolve anxiety and stress, depression, and worry. So, good morning. We've got people checking in from all over the world as they're kind of just filing into this room where we're going to be virtual room that we're going to be meeting in today. And I'm seeing people from Sweden, from Mexico, Nepal, from India, from Africa, and where else? Australia. How can I forget Australia? I just got a message yesterday that there's about 6 of you, maybe more, who are getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning just so that you can catch this live. So just want to shout out to you all. Where are you tuning in from, and what time is it? And what time zone are you in? It's 9 o'clock in the morning here. We are here in fall. Just want to show you the flowers that I have in the background. Here in the Pacific Northwest, our roses are still blooming. And really, that's kind of where we are today in this masterclass. Your intuitive senses are beginning to awaken or expand even more. You are still blooming no matter what is going on in your life. So, I've been asked, hello from New Hampshire and Colorado, Alberta, Mount Baldy, BC, Everett, Washington, High River, BC. Hi from North Carolina. I'm thinking about everyone in Florida. We've got somebody who just popped in. Oh, did I lose it already? Good afternoon from Florida. So just let you know, this morning in my meditation, I was really thinking about Florida and the hurricane that's going on there, just sending lots of love and support. So one of the things, two different types of questions have been coming in, and there are a few of you have written in. Just want to let you know that Kathy, my office manager extraordinaire, has been sending me the messages that you all have been writing, and it's just been wonderful to hear from you and just hear from just how much you got out of yesterday's talk. But some of the questions are, how can I expand my intuition a lot more? How can I learn more about it? How can I get excited about it? And then I've got others of you who are saying, I'm just racked with so much anxiety. I'm at my wit's end. I'm tired of being tired about having anxiety all the time. How do I resolve that? So I'm going to talk about how do those two go together? But before I talk about that, I just want to pop in because we had a huge response from the action step exercise that happened yesterday. I just want to do a little review of what we all learned yesterday in day 1 of the masterclass. So if you've not listened to that, no worries. We're going to keep it up for 5 days so you can go back and listen to that one as well. However, what you learned yesterday was grounding really centers you into an inner calm, confidence, and intuitive clarity. Learning how you can move out of the past and out of the future and be in the present. So you learned those techniques. You experienced how stepping out of a younger age, we called it present aging yourself, and coping, moving into that high wisdom that you have learned over the years in your current age. And then, of course, you learned how to really ground, stabilize, and then also work with your grounding to be able to let go. So there was about 50 of you who actually did the exercise yesterday, and the exercise assignment, the action step assignment, was to practice grounding in different places so that you can really get a sense about how different energies can impact your grounding. And so as Nancy Rebecca, as a clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive teacher, nurse for over 28 years, I'm all about practicing, practicing, practicing during calm times of your life. So when you do get those triggers, emotional triggers, that you can right away grab for it and you know what to do. Just kind of like an airplane when they kind of go through, all right, you're going to grab the life jacket and the oxygen and you're going to practice this. So if there is some trouble on the flight, that right away you know what to do without thinking about it. So this is how intuition and anxiety teachings go together. But let me mention who won the drawing today. So what is the prize? And the prize is going to be the same over the next few days. Now, for me personally, I've been doing psychic intuitive readings, looking at energy fields, helping people to adjust, adapt, and heal and expand into their life and desires of what they want to create. I made the decision about 6 months ago to stop doing private readings. However, with my students, I still do mini readings, and in our conference calls, really help look at their energy field. So that's where I'm focusing right now. But this week, I'm going to be opening this up to those of you who do the exercises. We're going to draw your name, and I'm going to do a special reading session for you all. So today, because we had so many of you and it is day one, we chose 2 names. So the first name, just a huge shout out, and everybody congratulate Deborah Adams. So Deborah Adams, your name was drawn this morning to have a private reading with me in a group setting. And then the next name, big drum roll, is Heidi Connolly. Heidi Connolly. So we have 2 winners today. We're going to draw another winner tomorrow. And the exercise assignment I'm going to give you today is going to be super easy, because you're going to just take your experience that you learned today and you're just going to write it up under the post of action step for Facebook, and then under YouTube, right under the video, I want you to just explain what your experience was. And then again, your name will be put in the hat tomorrow to be drawn for having a private reading with me. So awesome. Thanks for all the great congratulations, because this is a tough time that we're living in. We need to be uplifting each other. We need to be happy for each other. We need to be encouraging for each other. And then we're all winners. So, all right. So let me just talk about intuition and anxiety, and why am I talking about those 2 subjects at the same time? So anxiety, depression, stress, worry, any of those kind of overwhelming emotions that can drag you down, those are all an energetic response to an energetic problem. Write that down on your piece of paper. These are all energetic responses to an energetic problem. So this is the way that your intuition is attempting to get your attention, to tell you that something is out of balance, that something is stirred up, that something might be wrong, or that you just need to stop for a moment. You need to tune in, and you need to get a sense about what you need to be paying attention to. And this is why I call it intuition with precision. This is why I teach these courses, to help you get much more definite. Intuition is I'm going to call it kind of an impression. You get these impressions of emotional, or you may hear things or see things or know things. That's an impression. But often we get intuitive senses about things, but we don't know what it means. It's like, I don't even know what that means. Okay, that's a sign, but what's that a sign about? But when you're having that anxiety and that unsettledness inside, it is your spirits trying to get your attention. There's some imbalances in the energy field, and your spirit wants you to tend to those imbalances. So if you remember yesterday in day one, I talked about how the different shapes of the aura, like anxiety is a big energy around the top of the head, or stress can be like a pear shape of the aura where it's more expanded below, or like stress just comes up to the shoulders and doesn't cover the head. But this is what I want you to hear, and this is what I want you to really understand. From me looking at energy fields for years and years and years, the energy field got out of balance first. Your anxiety got triggered second. So it isn't the anxiety that causes the imbalance in the aura. You already had an imbalance in the aura that causes you to feel stressed. It causes you to feel depressed or anxious or worried. And so those imbalances in the aura can literally show up in your energy field for days, for weeks, for months, and in some cases for years before the aura just kind of collapses and it just kind of reverberates through your whole body. And it's like, I can't take this anymore. So there's lots of reasons why it can get out of balance. You can have an out of balance relationship. You can have an out of balance work life. You can have really a lot of stress from all the changes that are going on throughout the world in all governments, in all banking systems, in whatever. And so in the teaching, in the courses that I teach, remember I said you're going to practice during times of calmness. So when you're getting triggered, you can immediately nip it in the bud and you can really start to shift that. You're going to become so sensitive to knowing when things are out of sort. You can immediately bring them back into balance so that your body doesn't need to scream at you to get your attention. So so those can be energetic issues. Now, you can be responding to out of balance memories, stuck memories that happened to you in childhood. Now, we can somehow manage to stuff it as a child, stuff it as a teenager, stuff it as a young adult. But did you know, on average, around the age of 30, you start to kind of really start growing into yourself a bit more. That's where it's like whatever you've been kind of holding down can no longer stay kind of buried deep. Why? Because your spirit wants to grow. Your spirit wants to grow in your light and expand. It can't do that if you're holding on to a lot of old energy. So a lot of times when we don't feel well, that kind of gets us to stop and slow down our life. So we can get triggered by old memories. We can also get triggered by other people's energy around us. If their energy's out of balance and you're kind of very empathic and very sensitive to feeling others' energies around you, their energy might be out of balance. Your energy shifts out of balance because you're sensitive and you can feel their feelings. And so then when you're away from that person, you feel better. But learning how to develop your intuition, learning how to really kind of master the strength of your aura, your grounded centerness, really helps you, especially you sensitive ones, when you go out in the world, you're around other people whose energy is out of balance, you can remain in balance. And then guess what? They match you. They start feeling better when they're around you. And then they can ask you, what are you doing? It feels so good. And it's like, I'm developing my intuition. So yes, energetic responses to an energetic problem. So there's always something that's really out of balance. So so today in this masterclass number 2, so yesterday I talked about when I had my out-of-body experience. I told that story where I was highly stressed. I was maxed out. I was having anxiety. I felt emotionally overwhelmed. I was filled with grief. And I was at that breaking point and I broke. And what happened was I had that spontaneous out-of-body experience, but I'm here to tell you, you don't have to go that far for your spirit to get your attention. But you have to remember, this was 28 years ago. I remember 28 years ago in the town that I lived in, if the yoga instructor said namaste, then the students would quit because they thought it wasn't in alignment with their belief systems. And now here it is 28 years later, and it's not that big of a deal. But back then, for me, I didn't have anyone that I could reach out to. And so, yeah, I just kept getting threadbare, worn thin until I broke. And then when I had that out of body experience, then suddenly my intuition really woke up. I could feel everything. I could see everything. I could hear everything. I could kind of know everything. But it didn't feel like I could really fit in this human world that we're in. And so this is what led me as a nurse. It's like I kept asking my spirit, explain to me the practical purpose of having intuition. Please explain to me the practical purpose of having intuition. And so what spirit said was, everyone has intuition. It is a natural ability that we are born with. Your spirit, you are a spirit having a human experience, and your spirit uses those subtle sensitivities to help communicate to you about what's ahead, what's going on in your life, where are the imbalances, where are the joys, where's that creativity, where's that excitement. You're going to find your spirit using intuition to communicate with you. But for me, I can tell you that communication started 5 years before that one single event. I had little subtle hints from my spirit that my life was totally out of balance. I was working a lot. I was definitely putting my life in the back seat and putting my children's life, ahead. I was trying to please everyone. I was a nurse. I was trying to be super nurse, super mom, super woman, super everything. And back then, 28 years ago, that was kind of expected, cleaning the house, making the dinner, working full time, going to school. So I am just letting you know that you don't have to wait that long. You don't have to wait that long for your spirit to get your attention. Just by being on this day 2 teaching is going to help get you there. So let's talk about what do I mean by who's driving your car. So remember, these are my 3 intuition with precision methods, the top 3 that I grab for at just even the hint that something's starting to kind of rattle my cage. So tip number 2, who's driving your car? Now, 28 years ago, if I wanted to make a decision, so I'm going to give you an example. I received a phone call about a new job opportunity that was coming up. I received a call. They wanted me to apply for that job. Now, some of you may find this familiar, but I had to call 10 friends and get 10 different opinions about this job. My son tells me, who's now 42 years old, he says, Mom, I just remember you being on the phone all the time. And these were the phones that were still connected to the wall. And I didn't have a cell phone then. So that was a long time ago. But I used to call, and then I would gather all the data from my friends. And then I would try to make my decision based on their advice. Now, what did my spirit teach me that was very practical? My spirit wanted to teach me about my pineal. So we're going to talk just a little bit about your pineal gland that is located in the center of your head. What I realized is that if I imagine driving a car, my spirit wanted me to know what does my car look like? Who's driving my car? Am I in the car? Am I in the front seat? Do I have my hands on the steering wheel? Am I sitting in the passenger side? Is somebody else driving my car? Am I in the back seat? Some of you in this experiential meditation might even find yourself not even in your car at all. You might be running behind your car. You may not even be anywhere around your car. This is going to be an enormous intuitive awakening for you. When you are in the seat of the driver's seat of your car with your hands on the steering wheel, that's like you being on your pineal gland. And that's when you are in the driver's seat of your intuition. And then that's when you know when things may be getting out of balance and that you need to make some shifts in your life to get back into balance so you don't have those anxiety panic attacks where your spirit needs to rattle your body's cage a little bit. So let me just talk a moment about what is the pineal gland. Now, you can look up the pineal gland, and I've even made a YouTube video on the pineal gland. But the pineal, if you just kind of followed your consciousness up your spine, up your neck, up past the base of your skull, right, it's not smack dab in the center of your brain, but it's just tipped back a little bit. It's a tiny, tiny little gland about the tip of your finger. It looks like a little pine cone. You know how pine cone has those little ridges all the way around? So that's what it looks like. It looks like a tiny little pine cone. For years, when I first started, no one knew what the pine no one knew what a pine cone's purpose was. No one knew what a pineal gland's purpose was. They had no idea. The neurologists that study the brain didn't know what its purpose was. However, if you go back into Hindu teaching, in Hinduism, they have drawings from thousands of years ago. And it's about the light of your spirit coming down through the top of your head. It comes right down onto the pineal. And it's like suddenly I see this light get brighter. It comes down on the pineal and then it radiates through your sixth chakra. So many of you have heard about the third eye, about the clairvoyance, and that's right here in your sixth chakra. That's where your intuitive information comes in from your spirit and then illuminates through your body, through your mind, helps calm your mind down, settle your mind down. So even when you're feeling anxious, your spirit can tell you, it's all right, you're safe, it's going to be okay. Why don't you sit down and ground yourself? So that's the pineal. But for the purpose of having a lot of fun, because your spirit loves to feel joyful, your spirit loves to feel playful, your spirit thinks you are the coolest person on the face of the planet. Your spirit wants to illuminate your awesomeness throughout all aspects of your life. And so if you are not connected to your spirit, that's when your spirit's going to rattle your cage a little bit and get your attention. And you might feel fine on the inside, but life might not be going so fine on the outside. You're trying so hard. And this is what I've learned about working with people for all of these years, is that we just want to be happy. We want to have healthy relationships. Everybody wants to be happy. Everyone wants to have healthy relationships. Everyone wants to feel a sense of purpose in life. Everyone wants to feel like they're making a difference in the world. And person after person after person, I've done over 15,000 readings of the human energy field. Nobody's different. Everyone is the same in regards to that. And so that's these 3 days of the masterclass, just giving you a taste, a sample of this potential that you can grow into, of knowing and realizing that you are a light, you're a bright light, and that your bright light of your soul really wants to illuminate all the aspects of you. So we're going to do this meditation so that you can play with your spirit, or let your spirit play with you through imagination, playfulness, joy. Now, what's going to happen if you find yourself standing outside of your car? What's going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. You're going to go, what? I'm not even in my car. Or you might say, wow, I'm really not in charge of my life. I can't even believe that you can be critical, you can be depressed, you can beat yourself up, you can be in judgment. And often we think we're the only one outside of our car and everybody else is inside their car. And that's just not true. And after 28 years of meditating every day, I always need to check daily to make sure that I haven't moved out of the driver's seat of my car. So we're going to do the meditation, but all day long, that's going to be your action step. You're going to play with, in different situations, work or home or with friends. Are you still in the driver's seat of your car? All right, so I teach through experiential learning. What I mean by that is I can talk to you just like I am now, and you're going to retain about 20% of what I am sharing with you based on my wealth of experience. However, if I guide you through your own experience, you're going to retain, you're going to remember, you're going to feel in your bones 80% of your experience. So that's why you're going to learn about me as a teacher, that we learn through experiential learning. All right, let's go ahead and I can feel the excitement just bubbling to the surface. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just kind of close the blinds to your outer world right now. Let's just bring all that vast attention that you put on your world that's going on around you. And let's just take that moment to turn inwards and illuminate inside of your body, illuminate your energy field, illuminate your aura, illuminate your chakras. Even if you don't know what auras and chakras are, no worries. Just let your light shine on you right now. Say hello to your body. Remember, your body, it's an energy response system. Your body sends you messages. Your body's not trying to punish you. Your body's trying to guide you. So right now, just send your body a little bit of love and apologize to your body for the ways that you may kind of judge it or criticize it for worrying all the time or feeling depressed or anxious or stressed. Say, oh, I didn't understand that you're just trying to get my attention to guide me. Now go ahead and say hello to your spirit, that higher, wise, spiritual navigating system that is you. If you feel like you really make things more complicated than it needs to be, or you put a lot of effort and struggle into life, or you feel like everything's a challenge and difficult, just ask your higher self to help you lighten up for this meditation. Ask your spirit to help you to kind of take a nanosecond to be a little playful and lighthearted and lightheaded. Now we're going to take that technique that you learned in day one, and that technique is grounding. So use whatever image you used yesterday for grounding, or ask your spirit if it wants to be playful and mix it up and use a whole different image of grounding today. And if you didn't hear day one's teaching, just ask your spirit for an image that is unique to you. It can be a tree with large roots. It can be a waterfall. It can be a steel beam. It can be a mountain of crystals. It can be eagles, herons, and owls. It can be any image that you wish for. And then just project that image around the area of your hips. And then let gravity start pulling it, pulling the energy deeper and deeper and deeper to the core of the earth, which is, human terms, is 4,500 miles deep. In spiritual terms, in intuitive terms, you can be at the center of the earth in a nanosecond. Remember the learning from yesterday. When you ground deeply and then anchor your grounding around the magnetic core, it stabilizes and strengthens your grounding. It stabilizes and strengthens your aura. It stabilizes and strengthens your emotional expression so that it doesn't feel out of control. Your grounding functions also as a drain. It's an energetic chute to let go of anything that you want to let go of. It can be a pain in the body. It can be an emotional upset. It can be mental monkey mind, or maybe you're holding on to something in your mind that you can't let go of. Let's just take about 30 seconds for you to have an awareness of what you want to let go of, and then go ahead and drop it right down your grounding to the center of the earth to be recycled into usable energy again. Don't think about it too much. I can feel and see and sense some of you out there are thinking, it's like, am I doing it the right way? What should I let go of? Should I let go of that? Should I hang on? Just let it go. Just let it go. If it's meant to stay, your spirit's going to keep it. So you can just set your intention to just let it all go right now, using this wonderful group energy that's right beside you in a letting go mood. Beautiful. Now remember that bright light of you. So I'm laughing because every time I put my hands down, it gets darker, but every time I put my hands up, it gets brighter. So your higher self above your head, just let that beautiful, brilliant light of your soul just start to move down through the top of your aura, the top of your head, filling up your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your body, your legs, and it's going to flow all the way down the center of the earth to blend with Mother Earth. All right, let's have some playtime here. The playtime is, what is your favorite car? You might have a couple of cars that are your favorite, but for this exercise, just choose one. It can be an old Model T. Heck, it could even be a horse-drawn carriage. It can be a Volkswagen Bug. It can be an old 70s Cadillac. It can be a brand new Tesla, whatever, or a Bentley or a Ferrari. That car can be any car your imagination can create. Choose the type car, the color of the car. Does it have leather or cloth seats? Does it have a surround sound system, or are you just windows down listening to nature? Right now, let's just take about 30 seconds to completely create this imaginary car. Now, where are you in relationship to your car? You can go up to the door. You can imagine opening the door. Are you in the driver's seat? Are your hands firmly on the wheel of your life? Or are you sitting in the passenger seat? Or are you sitting in the back seat? Or are you out of your car, somewhere around your car? Or do you not even have any idea where you are? It doesn't matter. You're just going to go ahead and you're just going to move towards your car. You're going to move people out of your car, from behind your car, in front of your car. You're going to move to the driver's seat of your car and get a sense about how easy or how challenging is that for you. Move energies out of the way to be firmly in the driver's seat of your life. So we're going to take about a minute of quiet as you take charge again of your spiritual light having a human experience. If you're feeling confusion, feeling challenge, drop that confusion and challenge right down your grounding as you move towards the driver's seat. If you feel, I'm not quite sure how to do this, drop confusion, doubt, second guessing down your grounding and move closer to the driver's seat. It's happening. The light in our group is getting brighter and brighter and brighter as you all center yourself. Remind yourself of what today's date is, or the actual date you're listening to this recording. It is September 28th, the year 2022. Remind yourself of how old you are, and you may notice another shift just by doing those two additional things. Is there someone in your car you don't want in your car? You get to say, out. You do not have permission to be in my car. You have no permission to be anywhere around my car. Out. Set that intention and let your own spirit completely move them out of your car and out of your aura. And that's okay. A few of you I can feel are having a really good emotional release, because it does feel good and empowering to be back in charge of your life. When your body wants to express through emotion, your body is expressing that sense of release, that relief. It's like, oh, thank goodness they're back in the driver's seat. Thank goodness they're in charge again. Your body has that sense of release. So in this exercise, who's driving your car? You're driving your car. And the you that's you is your spiritual light, is being put in charge of being that guiding light for your life. Not your own brain, not your mind, not your ego, not your insecurities, not your doubts, not your fears or anxieties, but your soul light is taking charge and being at the forefront, and is now from this moment forward beginning to guide you to create the life that you really want to have for yourself, the intuitive life that you want to have for yourself. All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. You can move your arms and legs around. You can make some notes on your paper about what you learned today. When you can learn and master no longer giving up the driver's seat to other people in your life, that's when the precision of your intuition gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and helps you to really become a constant, reliable light for you to follow. Beautiful. So as you're all coming back and you're all starting to, sorry, I just saw somebody mention that the live video stopped. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. And I'm sorry if that's happened, but if anybody else is experiencing that, just let me know. And no worries, because I'm live on YouTube as well, and I can just share the YouTube video on Facebook if you missed that, or you can go over to YouTube and watch it as well. So I just want to tell you, I'm super excited. There's a few kind of things that I've adapted for this week, because so many of you are asking about intuition. You want to learn more about your intuition. You can feel your intuition is starting to kind of blossom inside of you. So remember, intuition is a natural ability that everyone has. But what you might not know is that you all have unique, intuitive, dominant styles. So on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to extend and do a little bonus teaching on those days about the 4 different intuitive styles. It will still be at 9 o'clock. But tomorrow on day 3 is where I'm going to pull another extremely helpful technique that's a fast acting chakra shifting secret when you are in that full blown fight, flight, freeze, or what's the new word, fawn, where you just can't move. That's where we're going to teach you. Myself and my guides are going to teach you. That's where I'm going to help you have an experience to learn how to shift really quickly to get out of that overwhelming anxiety, especially when you have trouble grounding, you have trouble centering, you're just so racked with anxiety. And I'm going to share my own story that really inspired this workshop where I became paralyzed with anxiety in the middle of an international airport. So that's going on tomorrow, day 3, chakra shifting secret technique. Day 4, 5, 6, and 7, I'm going to be talking about the different intuitive styles. We're going to be doing a drawing every day for those who are going to join me to have a reading from me. Tomorrow morning, every Thursday, so a lot of you are new here on YouTube and Intuition with Precision page on Facebook. Every Thursday, I do a live teaching, and this one for tomorrow just happens to be the October frequency forecast. What are the vibration and frequencies that you can expect to experience for the whole month of October? And I will tell you, something happened yesterday. There was an explosion of light that really kind of rattled the world. So I'm going to be talking about that at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Please do not let that get confused with our day 3 masterclass that will be at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time, and wherever you are in the world. Psychic Mastery Level 1. The cart opened, the class opened, enrollment registration opened this morning at 8 o'clock. And so it's finally open for anyone who wants to register for that. You can definitely go and read all about it. Don't hesitate to let us know if you have any questions. However, this is the first time we're offering a fast action bonus for an additional $100 off of the whole program. If you pay in full, it comes right off the top, or if you're making the monthly payments, it comes off that very first monthly payment of $100. And here is the bonus. And the bonus code word is all capital letters PM1. So it represents Psychic Mastery 1. FAST, F-A-S-T. So we'll put this in the post as well so that you can follow that link and read more about that class. All right, these are the first step, grounding. The second step, who is driving my car? I'm going to take a look at a couple of comments or questions. To see if I can answer those. Oh, you're very welcome. Lots of people, lots of comments. Thank you. On your Facebook, somebody put the link to the Psychic Mastery 1. Someone mentioned that they didn't fall asleep in this meditation. And there is someone on YouTube that said, I don't understand this path that I'm on, that Spirit's leading me on. There's a lot of pain, and what's the point? And I just want to share with you, there's a lot of people in that similar place. And it was in the same place for me 28 years ago. It was kind of like, what's the point? I just don't get it. And there's a lot of pain. Now, I'm going to tell you something that probably isn't going to give you much relief. But what I've also learned is that those who go through trials and tribulations in their life, they have very high level skills of intuition. And then as your intuitive side starts to move in more, start to displace, helps you to release with these techniques, to ground, start to release that pain, then things will start to center. But it might not be an overnight success. It's a kind of a consistent, constant devotional practice. The beautiful thing about the Psychic Mastery 1 program and the 12 modules is that You have these foundational techniques that you build on in every single module. You start creating this daily routine. And what happens is that more of the pain releases, more of the light of your soul moves into your body. And that's when things really start to shift. But again, it might rattle that cage. Remember, I said it's trying to get your attention, it might rattle your cage more than calm your cage. But every time you meditate and ground, you get that sense of calmness. So thank you for mentioning that. Like, what's the purpose? And I don't have those answers, but I know who does have those answers, and that's your own soul and your own spirit. So anytime you can create opportunities to connect with your soul, it might be through dancing and music, it might be through artwork, it might be through walking in nature, it might be through physical agility and challenging yourself. It might baking pies is a time where my spirit really likes to come through. I know it sounds crazy, but we all have our places that we can create where we can commune with our own soul. Absolutely, TLO on YouTube. Being in the driver's seat with your hands is about taking charge of your spiritual light. And it does take practice to remain on your pineal. But once you do, and once you're centered there, you start to know, oop, I'm off center. I'm off center. Someone told the story last year. I loved it, where he said he listened to this course and then Masterclass, and then he went to work, and he was talking to his boss, and he said he had this awareness that he left this class in the seat of his car with his hands on the steering wheel, but when he was talking to his boss, he could sense that he was stepping out of his car and he was letting his boss slide in behind the driver's seat, and then right away he could catch it intuitively and say, nobody's in this driver's seat but me. And then he moved back in, and he said the conversation with his boss changed. He never knew before that when he talks to people of authority, he moves out of the driver's seat of our life. Yes, spirit uses subtle sensitivities to communicate with us. But through developing your intuition, as we teach in the Psychic Mastery 1 program about really becoming precise, those subtle energies move from being quiet to being moved very, very loudly. All right, I think that's about it. So we do have a homework assignment today. We do have an action step, and right away, you've already got it. You're going to go to the post on Facebook. It's going to say post for something like that. Day number 2, action step. Who's driving your car? Who's in the driver's seat of your car? And just write in the comments section your experience that you had today in day 2 of this masterclass. However, if you want to come back and share later, just like that story I shared with you about the young man, what he noticed at work, we love to read those stories. And then on YouTube, we don't have a post, but we do have, you can just write your exercise action step right in the comment section of YouTube. And you can do that right now as soon as the live comes off. Let's see, is there anything else? Did I miss anything else? Just look and see if anything else came up. Someone said they had a legion of angels in the back seat of their car. So lots of thank yous. Wonderful, wonderful to have you on. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. So I just got a note about tomorrow's homework. And they must have a little delay because they didn't hear that I just gave you the homework. So tomorrow's homework is write your experience about who's driving your car, and then we will collect all the names, and just before 9 o'clock, we'll do a drawing for a free reading with me. All right, thanks everyone. Have an awesome day staying in the driver's seat of your car and practicing your grounding some more, and see how that kind of minimizes the reactive emotional reactions of the body. All right, take care, everyone.